Duplantis, the director of Houston Community College Television. Very pleased to be with you this beautiful Saturday afternoon for the Bold Ideas Pitch Competition. We've got a great lineup for you for the next couple hours or so. We did this over the summer for Houston Community College, and we're very excited today to be here with our partners at the University of St. Thomas for the Bold Ideas Pitch Competition. Now, we want to share some YouTube live links so you can take a look at those. The presentation awards will be available at the link you see below. And then around 2 o'clock, we'll have some social entrepreneurship awards. They'll be hosted by the link as you see as well. My name, as I mentioned, Todd Duplantis. We've got a bevy of guests joining us today. I want to tell you a little bit about this competition. This exciting contest is hosted by the University of St. Thomas in partnership with Houston Community College. The contest encourages students to bring their ideas forward and receive further inspiration. Now, the pitch contest supports students through empowerment and helps them build important entrepreneurial skills and a mindset. Stay tuned for the next couple hours. You won't be disappointed. We're going to move along with the show and talk about what the winners will get through this competition. Now, the winners of the first, second, and third place on each track will receive $5,000, $3,000, and $1,000 respectively. The underwriter of these prizes is the McNair Centers for Entrepreneurship and Free Enterprise. We're very pleased to be partnering with them this year in their endeavors. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our Bold Ideas committee members. We've got Bina George, Tom, Chief Innovation Officer, with us this afternoon. Good afternoon. We also have a lady we know very well, Easton Community College, Dr. Maya DeNovo, HCC Entrepreneurial Officer. Good afternoon, Dr. DeNovo. And we also got Patrick Whoop. He is the University of St. Thomas Director of McNair Center for Free Enterprise and Entrepreneurship. And of course, Robbie Brombot, HCC Director of Student Innovation and Entrepreneurship as well. Let's move along with the next step of the Bold Ideas Entrepreneurship judges. Of course, we have to have some people who will judge the contestants. Of course, today we've got a great list. Mr. Yusuf Muhammad, Chapter President of SCORE Houston. He'll be joining us this afternoon. Our next judge will be Mr. Jesse Bounds, Innovation Director for the City of Houston. Next judge, Mr. Robert De Los Santos, CEO of Sky High Party Rentals. And our entrepreneurship track 10 finalist presentations. I believe we can go through and let you take a look at who those finalists are going to be. Before, though, we want to give you some of the rules of what they'll have to go by today. Each finalist have 3 minutes to pitch their idea. 3 minutes. We're pretty exact on that. Then they'll have 2 minutes to answer questions by the judges or get feedback if there are any. Those are the rules. Now, here are the contestants. First contestant will be Ashley Torres. This is the order of presentation order. Our next contestant will be Nicolette Kong. Our next contestant, Jairo Suarez. Contestant number 4, Ahmed Al-Rawi. Contestant number 5, Carlos Bertrand. Contestant number 6, Yaroslav Lunev. Contestant number 7, Davis Milton Alford. Contestant number 8, Kanisha Friend. Contestant number 9, Luisa Nataraja. And the final contestant for this portion of the contest, contestant number 10, Omar Al-Isa. All right, so are we ready to get started? I believe we are. And if I can get a go-ahead from Robbie. Robbie, wave your hands if we're ready to go. All right, we're ready to go. Here's our first contestant. We're going to go ahead and get started with number 1, Blurry Sounds, presented by Ashley Torres.
Ashley, we can't hear you.
So with the world of technology, we've got a few technical glitches, folks. Bear with us. We're going to work through it. Ashley, do you have your mic on mute? You might want to look down and see if your mic is on mute. Make sure there is no line through the mute and we can hear you, because currently we can't. And we still don't have Ashley. So, Robbie, do we want to come back to Ashley and go to the next contestant?
Todd, the scoring has Ashley number 1. So judges, what you could do is give Ashley a score temporarily, and then move on to number 2. And Ashley, what you may want to do is go to the settings and change your mic. We'll catch you at the end there. So Todd, judges, if you guys could just go, and I see nod from Jesse. Okay, so if you all just give her some scores to move on, and then go back to the slide, that will make that happen. So number 2, Todd, let's move on with number 2.
All right, number Minus Audio by Nicolette Kong. Nicolette, take it away.
All right, good afternoon, y'all. Let me just go ahead and pull it up. Where'd it go? Let me go ahead and switch over here.
Okay, your time starts now.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicolette Kong, and I am a student entrepreneur from the University of St. Thomas. And today I am presenting to you my freelance business, NIS Audio. So I want you to take a moment and reflect on all the sound, all the sounds that you hear around us each day, from commercials, the social media feed, podcasts or audio drama, songs, music production, demo reels, YouTube videos. All of it needs quality audio, needs professional grade audio, and that's where I come in. My purpose is to uplift your message. When you are in a space, you need to be competitive. You need to be engaging. You need an auditory experience to deliver that message that you want to put out into the world for others to hear. What my business is doing is audio cleanup and repair for your audio files, sound design. It's entirely remote. There's no waste, no materials involved. And in this climate of COVID-19 pandemic, it's of the utmost importance that we maintain safety and health. So the work is entirely remote. I offer professional grade equipment and quality, such as Isotope and Waves plugins, Reaper, Digital Audio Workspace, etc. There's quick returns and ample communications from me to you, so you get very quick and very frequent updates on the progress of your audio, and there's no middleman. There's no one having to bar or script you from not wanting to portray the message that you want to portray. You directly relate to me, and because there is no middleman, I also am able to provide reduced prices that are like fraction of the $500 or $2,000 prices that you would have to go through to get professional grade audio from a studio. Ultimately, NIS Audio is for you. Whether you are a student, an actor, a corporate professional, an activist, a passionate hobbyist, or an up-and-coming entrepreneur, we all want our voices to be heard. So let me help you get your voice out there in a crisp, clean, professional fashion so no one is able to not listen to your voice. Thank you so much for listening. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. This is Yusuf Muhammad. Great presentation. I love your energy, and thank you for presenting. The question I have, who is your closest competitor?
My closest competitor? I'm not aware of a closest competitor locally and in my circle. I am the only person that is doing what I'm doing. I know online through Twitter, there are people like Emma Suru or Belle Resheb that also do this type of service. But I also wanted to localize my service to in-person connections around the Houston area and around the local campus community.
Okay, final question because I know we are limited.
No worries.
So, who would be your customer? I see you identify businesses, artists, but who coming out as far as the launch is concerned? Who would be your target customer?
My target customers right now are up and coming professionals, whether it be in art, such as voice actors like myself, which is why I started this business in the first place. So, actors, for students, for entrepreneurs like ourselves in this competition. I also do provide services to more corporate level. I do have experience with audio dramas, corporate interactive voice recordings. So basically phone line messages. Although these were pursued as like a side part for my voice acting gigs. It's never been independent like this business is suggesting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for UST and HCC for hosting this, and to the McNair Foundation for supporting this competition. And I appreciate all of you for your time.
All right. Thank you, Nicolette. And I believe we're ready. Robbie, ready to move on to our next contestant? Okay.
I just want to make sure, Ashley, unmute yourself and just confirm we got audio from you.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Actually, we're going to cycle back at the end, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. So, Todd, we're good to go for number 3.
Okay. Contestant number 3. Interesting. In a bowl. And it's being pitched by, is your first name, is it pronounced Jairo Suarez? Is that correct?
Yes, correct, Todd.
All right, Jairo, take it away.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. As Todd so graciously introduced me, my name is Jairo Suarez. I am a student entrepreneur at the University of St. Thomas. And let me pull up my presentation, and I will tell you about Passion in a Bowl.
All right, so, let's start, Jairo.
So, to begin, we have to admit that the year of 2020 has been filled with some pretty bitter realities. The global health crisis right now has limited travel to pretty much any other part of the world for safety reasons, for health reasons. And so in doing that, it made me think a lot about my family, as many others have been thinking about. My family is from Colombia. I'm a first generation Colombian American immigrant. And so it had me thinking a lot about this dessert I had the last time I was there 2 years ago. So amid the colonial style city of Girón, Colombia, there is a dessert, which is just a very, very nice escape from some of the bitterness. And let me tell you about it. So this sweet solution, I ended up dubbing Passion in a Bowl. However, it is inspired by a local dessert in the town called maracumix. Maracumix takes its name from the Spanish word for passion fruit, maracuyá, which is, as the picture shows on screen, it's sort of like a hard rind, kind of like a pomegranate, but with a tart flavor, not sour like a lemon, but tart. And so the dessert is made by cutting it open and then putting ice cream inside of the fruit just directly, and then topping it with condensed milk. So you have a nice mixture between the soft, sweet creaminess of the ice cream and the tart tanginess of the passion fruit. And so it's all contained in the one fruit. And now, why should you care? The beauty of passion in a bowl, the fruit design, is that it combines the man-made, the ice cream, human innovation, with the natural wonders of the fruit without being altered in any way whatsoever. So it's a nice way of us as people reconnecting with what's around us. And now, there are some other applications that aren't in the original concept that I would bring over here if I were to import the idea to the United States. So other than passion fruit, you could also have the passionable in a watermelon, a melon, pineapple, honeydew, pretty much any kind of fruit that has some kind of a hard rind that could serve as a bowl. And then the insides could be, other than ice cream, it could be frozen yogurt, sorbet, shaved ice. We can alter it to fit different dietary needs, sugar-free options for those who have diabetes, that kind of thing. And then the beauty of it is that since it comes in a fruit bowl, that decomposes naturally, so it's much more eco-friendly than, say, something that requires a cup or some kind of styrofoam bowl. Yeah. And then some of the considerations that I was thinking about in terms of business is that due to the current health concerns and because of the distribution model of Passion in a Bowl, it would be limited for now only to pick up orders by customers. So those making it would have all the proper health, the proper health protocol, and then customers would come and pick it up and take it to go.
Iro, you're
then,
over time.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Just you may ask questions.
So I assume if we were in person, we would be able to taste this while we were listening to the presentation, right?
Of course, ideally that would be the case.
Well, I've got a question. So is this going to be a storefront that you're going to have, or what's your distribution method for the bowls?
Great question. So the distribution front would be a storefront where we kind of like boba tea shops, how they've been very successful in the last few years, and they were also imported from Eastern countries like Vietnam. A storefront similar to that where we the employees make the bowls and then customers pick them up.
Great.
Thank you.
I have a question. Are you going to supply the U.S. market or Colombia?
I would be supplying from a U.S. market. So the only thing I would really need to get from Colombia would be any kind of specific permissions from the original brand, if there are any, because I haven't checked specifically what specific parts of it would be trademarked. And so the idea would be to sort of adapt it to an American market and American tastes.
As far as access to inventory, do you have a farm in Colombia? Where would you be purchasing your inventory?
The specific inventory would be collected from suppliers here in the United States. So American farms, American stores primarily. Thank you.
And real quick, do you have a target market?
I didn't have a specific one in mind. Families in general would be lovely because this reminded me of my family, and it's a very very accessible product to just about anyone, since it's a matter of taste.
Excellent presentation. You did a great job.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for everyone who put this together.
All right. Thank you, Jairo. Good luck. Jairo Suarez, our next contestant, number 4, presenting on the Jean-Baptiste Lamarck Center for IoT. It's being presented, contestant number 4, Ahmed Al-Rawi. Good afternoon, Ahmed.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Ahmed Al-Rawi, and this is my pitch. Let me first walk you through the problem, which is really a threefold problem. It starts with the 2025 enrollment cliff. Middle-tier universities are still grappling with the impact of the 2008 recession on enrollment number come year 2025. As a result of the economic depression, birth rate in the United States took a drastic nosedive. This in turn compounds to the second fold of the problem, which is an aging U.S. population. For 4 consecutive years, the United States have seen a decline in birth rates, which shifts our population demographic to one of an aging populace. This in turn leads to a rising cost in healthcare. As population age, the pool of healthy young individuals subsidizing the healthcare costs of high-risk groups diminishes. With age, chronic conditions contribute significantly to the cost of healthcare spending, thus increasing the demand for effective biotech innovation. The solution? Transforming the university into a local hub for fostering biotechnical innovation with a particular focus on products intended for healthcare application. At its core, this proposal will culminate in the creation of Jean-Baptiste Lamarck Center for Biotech Innovation, JBL for short. The center will make use of the laboratory space within Anderson and Robertson Science Halls that have since been vacated by the Chemistry and Biology's department relocation to the new STEM building. The unique value proposition. JPL will allow the university to diversify its income-generating portfolio. Revenue-generating model will either rely on a lease agreement or charging fees for services and access to the university's own machinery and instrumentation. For startup companies, setting shop within JPL will translate to a significant reduction in the initial cost of demonstrating viability and functionality of their products. Additionally, JPL will allow the university to tap into sources of revenue in the form of grants and major philanthropic awards for which the university did not qualify before. JPL will allow the university to provide enhanced education to its student community, thus minimizing the impact of the enrollment cliff. Through specially designed internships, students majoring in different disciplines will gain real-world experience along with financial incentive that reduces the burden of increasing cost of tuition, while startups will receive essential services at a reduced cost, thus increasing the likelihood of their survival beyond biotech's infamous valley of death. Through a series of strategic alliances and partnerships, JPL will screen and select prospective biotech startups. The first of such alliances is the university's existing relationship with the Houston Methodist and NASA. The latter continuously seek to license its intellectual property to biotech startups, who then can be extended and offered to join JPL's portfolio. Additional alliances with local and regional incubators and tech transfer offices will further maximize the number of applicants considered for occupying JPL. The university will not seek an equity stake in those startups. However, assuming a fee-for-service model and assuming the university will fund the entire cost of the initial investment for capital equipment acquisition, JPL is forecasted to cover the cost of the investment in the first 2 years following launch. JPL's revenue will be reinvested for implementing subsequent phases of expansion. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ahmed. Do we have any questions from our judges?
If you win the $5,000 prize, what are you going to do with the money?
That's a good question. So my pitch to the university is I will not get paid unless they get the money. So that is my first stress test to seeing like if we can win the grant approval and support that I'm targeting. I had mentioned that if the university funds out of their own pocket, which is not what I'm intending to do, I'm intending to write grants, and we've already identified about 10 to 15 foundations that we could approach for funding this endeavor. This is basically my very first attempt at stress testing my idea.
Do you have any letters of intent? Is there any interest there from the university's perspective?
So I'm a student of the Master of Clinical Translational program. The program is in line with Houston Vision and Expansion, targeting biotechnology, and in line with the Texas Medical Center. My current cohort, we have 7 students. Our next incoming cohort, cohort 5, the initial forecasting for it was to expand to 12 students, and now the target is 30 students. So there is a huge interest from the university in pursuing this, and our degree is ranked 7th in the nation, but we have a little bit of a competition, but still a couple years behind. So we've got to hit this while it's hot.
My last question, how do you scale it? Right now, your plan is primarily with St. Thomas. Talk about how you're going to scale it throughout the nation or to other campuses.
Well, to be honest, St. Thomas is one of the few local universities within the Houston that do not have its own incubator. This is the thing about biotechnology is not much of a competition, but a collaboration. So the incubator will only foster the innovation not only within the university, but also all those startups that will reside in JBL and have access to our instrumentation. It's basically the social impact. We're helping them develop their products and giving them access at a reduced cost when they don't have any money at onset, even though their idea is fantastic and terrific.
Judges, we're over time here for questions. If we can move on to the next contestant, Todd.
Okay, thanks, Ahmed. Good luck to you. And we will move on to contestant number 5. The Good Neighbor, presenting Good Neighbor, we're going to hear from Carlos Bertrand. Good afternoon, Carlos.
Carlos, you want to unmute yourself there?
Carlos, can you hear us?
We can't hear you, Carlos.
So, Ravi, do we want to cycle back on Carlos and move to the next one?
Carlos, do you want to switch the mic? Give you 5 seconds or... Yeah, he's writing in the chat that he's going to try to fix it. Let's cycle back with him as well.
Okay, so we will, folks, we're going to do a few changes. We're going to move to the next one. So we were going to be cycling back at the end of this first presentation. We're going to go back to number 1, which is blurry sounds, and we'll be followed by number 5, good neighbors. So we're a bit out of order. Right now, we're going to move on to number 6, contestant number 6. The invoice exchange system. Yaroslav Lunev. Yaroslav, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, good deal. Let's go ahead and hear your presentation.
Okay, here we go.
Yaroslav, if you just give a second, judges, if I can get thumbs up that you're good to go to number 6, finalist 6 scoring sheet. Okay. All right, so Yaroslav, when you are ready, your time starts now.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us here. What I wanted to talk to you today about is the solution that every business in the US can use. And this is the invoice exchange system. So what's one common thing that large and small business have in this area is that every accounts payable worker and accounts receivable worker is overworked and understaffed and underpaid. So what my team and I have come up with is a concept that I hope you will see as big as we are. The information that they provide is often not available or it is too late. So the owners or basically the beneficiaries of the information are always in delay as far as making the decisions. The overhead costs are always rising. So we are looking to minimize the cost and increase the productivity. And how we're going to do that is through automating the accounts payable and accounts receivable service from business to business. The way we see it is basically we have multiple businesses around the world. Actually, we'll focus in on the US market for now, but multiple businesses are dealing. And right now, the typical workflow is you print an invoice, you mail it to your customer, and basically they'll pay it, and you'll come back and receive the money, you'll collect the receivable, and so forth. So we have a lot of paper, we have a lot of time restraints, and what we were hoping to develop and is a mechanism for the accounting systems, regardless if you're using QuickBooks, Sage, Microsoft Dynamics, anything, is to be able to communicate with each other and essentially initiate the transaction in the opposite system. Granted, we'll do all the authorization, all the workflows and security, everything will be covered. But the key focus is that we're essentially eliminating the role of accounts receivable or accounts payable person and substituting with someone who is versatile in both and also with IT savvy. So essentially, you might ask, how big is the market? Well, according to 2018 study by SBA, we have over 5.8 million companies around the US with 500 or less employees in their companies. And as of today, we have over 3,000 job postings for accounts payable clerk, accounts payable coordinator, something of that similar nature in the nation right now. Each of those jobs pay about $42,000. So if we just do a simple math, we can see that the potential for the market is enormous. Why us? There are plenty of competitors out there. Everybody's doing what we're trying to do. However, they're doing it the way that does not eliminate the cost. They simplify process or they speed up the process. So we'll be the only solution that will actually provide us a B2B direct connection. The team, we have 4 people that are exceptionally in their own areas. We have software people, we have developers, and we have finance guys. So we're very good about what we know, and we hope that we'll be able to solve the problems. Thank you so much. And today we ask for your vote. Tomorrow we might ask for some money. Thank you.
All right, Yaroslav, thank you. Do we have any questions from our judges?
Yeah, Jesse here. So where are you in the product development cycle? And is this a software as a service model?
Correct. It will be a software as a service. This is very idea stage. And we honestly ran into it more frequently here with one of my founders, Nicholas, because we faced with that day to day. We get massive number of invoices, and we only have one person to actually handle it. So the solutions that are out there are available, but they're not practical for us to implement because we have two different systems that are running for three different companies. So we have good knowledge within the team about the software development, about launching the products, and about cloud implementation. So I believe, according to our model, probably within 2 years, we'll be able to start actually getting customers on board.
I have a question. So what makes you different from, say, a QuickBooks?
Thank you. It's a good question. Well, we are not processing. We are going to partner with QuickBooks. So essentially, the same study about the 5.8 million, we have, QuickBooks has about 80% share of the market within the small business community. So we know that the small business users are actually using QuickBooks, most of the time. So our goal is actually to be able to have people that use QuickBooks and they have customers that are using Sage, for example, be able to simply, by initiating invoice in the QuickBooks side, have the invoice come in on the Sage side as a payable. Once we do all the approvals and the coding, the system will talk to each other through the cloud-based application. One thing I did not mention that every business will benefit from as well is the benchmarking. Because the data that we'll be collecting and we'll be passing through, we'll have the pricing information, the demand information, the pricing on the purchase side and also on the sales side. So the businesses that will be part of our products, will use our product, will also have access to that information in the sense of valuing their current services comparable to what they're currently offering, to what's in the market. So to answer your question, we're not competing with QuickBooks. We're complementing what they provide.
So my last question is, from a customer perspective, what would be the cost to a client of yours?
Thank you again. I had 15 slides, but I had to narrow it down to 8. Once again, look at the market and the possibilities and the competitors out there. An average price for the accounts payable scanning or solution or interface through a web browser is an average about $25 to $30 per month. So we're looking to stay within the same range. It will be a monthly subscription, probably $50 to $35 to $50 a month. Because at the end of the day, our goal is not to be an additional cost, but to actually reduce the cost. So if we take away the $42,000 per employee and reduce it down to $1,000, a business as big as 500 people down to about 10 people will feel the effect of that change.
Judges, we are over time on the Q&A.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Yaroslav. All right, we're going to move to contestant number 7, William Michelle Candles, being presented by Milton Davis Alford. Good afternoon, Milton.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm Davis, first name Davis.
Take it away, Davis.
All right, everyone. So like I mentioned, my name is Davis Alford. I'm a student and entrepreneur. I attend Houston Community College, but I'm also a co-founder of William Michelle Candles, a clean candle company. Oh, do most of you know most candle companies use ingredients and materials that may release hazardous chemicals into the air that you breathe? These chemicals have been linked to asthma symptoms and even migraines for certain consumers. What a lot of people don't know is that most candles release ingredients like benzene, synthetic fragrance, and zinc. What William Michelle Candles intend to do is to improve the manufacturing of candles by using premium raw materials and to capitalize on current trends of health-conscious consumers and build a socially responsible company. In order to do this, we're going to develop and patent a process for manufacturing the most helpful candle burning experience by using all natural ingredients. Additionally, we will eliminate harmful ingredients and improve the dispersing of scent. I would like to incentivize consumers to recycle used glass containers by offering rebates if containers are sent back to William Michelle's factory. Also, I would like to promote the buy one, give one business model by sending candles to U.S. regions and developing countries affected by hurricanes. My value proposition is throughout America, there's been a subtle movement to get away from synthetic products and support more organic products. 1 in 3 consumers prefer eco-friendly options. 35% of consumers are willing to pay more for socially responsible products. And 55% of consumers research product ingredients for health benefits. Right now, William Michel Candles distribution is an 80-20 split. 80% online at William Michel's website and 20% face-to-face, and transactions that we do at pop-up shops around Texas. My 3-year goal is to have a partnership with popular online marketplaces, such as Amazon, Walmart, or Macy's. The lasting impact of my candle company, I believe that at the moment I am profitable. My profit margin is 49%. But I would like to encourage business owners that create products to go more towards the organic craftsmanship. Also, I would like to be the candle company that spearhead the organic candle wick movement. At the moment, my candles burn in 24 hours. That's my burn time, which is 20% higher than preference candles. And like I mentioned earlier, we will not use any petroleum-based ingredients such as bibar and sulfuric acid, which is popular now in candles. Although there are millions of candle companies in America, I believe with your guys' help, William Michel can break through the crowd and light up the industry. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Davis. Judges, do you have any questions for Davis?
I love your energy. Thank you for your presentation. The question I have, so the patent concept, are you looking to sell more of your patented concept, or are you looking to compete in the business of selling candles? That's where I'm not clear.
Yeah, so what I intend on doing is patenting my own process of filtering the candle wax to improve the chemical reaction of oxygen and hydrocarbon. And pretty much that's how a candle burns. That's the whole process, the combustion of the flame in the candle wick. So if I'm able to patent my own process, that's how I would distinguish myself from the crowd.
As far as distribution, I know you said you have pop-up shops, but I'm impressed that you have a 49% gross profit margin. Do you have a retail location, or are you currently distributed in other locations, other stores?
What 2020 showed me is that most of our sales are going towards online. What I do now is I promote a lot on social media, and it's low cost. So for $20, I can pretty much promote to 1,500 people in Houston that's my age, and I can even put in Houston Community College and promote directly to them. And if I go online and look at the analytics, in 2020, those sales went up at least 35%. So I probably won't do a retail location, not at the moment, because all of our traffic is online.
If you win $5,000, what will you do with it?
If I was the guy who won this competition, I would most likely spend the majority of that money getting ingredients from Australia. The purest soy wax in the industry or in the market right now comes from a place in Pratt, Australia. Now, it's going to be very expensive to have it sent over here, especially if I want to get a large amount of it. Let's say 1,200 pounds of soy wax. Just in, let's just say tariffs and taxes alone, it's going to be expensive. So if I was lucky enough to win, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get supplies so that I can increase my profit margin. And I want to buy things in bulk.
Any more questions, judges?
We're over time on Q&A, judges.
All right. Thank you, Robbie. And of course, thank you, Davis. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're ready for our next contestant. Just want to let folks know, if you're just tuning in, we're about halfway through this. We're going to cycle back and catch up with a few contestants after we get through the first round here. So we've got 10 total, and right now we're on number 8. And number 8 is airbloom.com by Kanisha Friend. Good afternoon, Kanisha.
Kanisha, we see your slides, but we don't hear you. If you can unmute yourself from the
Okay, perfect.
you're good to go.
There we go.
Your time starts now, Kanisha.
Okay. At Airbloom Company, we are a company dedicated to providing high quality postpartum recovery products for expanding families. Because when it comes to maternal health, the 4th trimester is crucial. Yet, when I went to a major department store, there were 6 aisles dedicated towards baby products and products for new moms. Except this was the only area in that store dedicated towards postpartum care. It is no larger than that of a computer desk. So there is a visible gap in care. Did you know that the area between the vagina and anus may stretch and tear during vaginal delivery? It is also guaranteed to be swollen and sore for 6 to 8 weeks at least. You will also discharge and bleed for a varied amount of time. So we have neglected new moms and few products for successful 4th trimester recovery. Luckily, there's a solution. Postpartum recovery jam offered by Airbloom. As a doula, I noticed that there were tired new mothers attempting messy do-it-yourself projects. One thing we know for sure is that convenience always sells. The ready-to-use postpartum recovery jam is going to be spread over a feminine pad to soothe the tissues of the perineum and the vulva after a vaginal birth. It can also be used to promote and expedite the healing process. I want to note that although I say vaginal birth, this same product can be used for those who have a belly birth or a C-section. It'll just be in the opposite process, so after 8 weeks of healing. This jam is infused with healing botanicals and specific oils rounded off with a cold compress. If you have a belly birth, you will just do a heated compress. The unique value proposition that I have. According to the CDC, nearly 40% of Black women suffer a maternal health-related death. This means that only nearly 60% survive. But that is not to say that this is a positive birthing experience. What I know as a 5th-year teacher is that if you provide service to with the marginalized in mind, you raise the value of the entire classroom. The same is true for that in maternal health care. So at Airbloom Co., we focus on providing high quality individual care for every woman for a shift towards vitality and recovery. My go-to market. As I mentioned, I work as a certified labor and birth doula, lactation consultant, and I'm also a certified nursing assistant. While helping my clients, I created this product, and I also have a unique existing doula community that can work as product representatives. So my market is there for this necessary product. The profit and purpose. So by investing in this one product, which is our proven entry product, you are also investing in our other services and specialized birth and recovery products, such as the breastfeeding relief spray and birth boxes. I know this is our proven entry product because as a doula, I have seen my clients need it. It is a necessary because it is guaranteed that you will be swollen in your vulva and your perineum. So I hope that you support this product, and by supporting this, you support everything else that we offer at Airbloom Company.
All right, thank you, Kanisha. And judges, do we have any questions for Kanisha?
Yes, I have a question. Does your product need FDA approval?
No. So one thing we know on the website is that the ingredients used in the products are not FDA approved. However, they are proven to help and support. So as I mentioned before, that mothers are already creating this do-it-yourself, but it is messy, they are tired. So this ready-to-use option is excellent for them.
So how much money do you need to raise in order to bring your product to market?
Well, this product is technically already in market because I use it with the clients that I serve. And also because I have a community of doulas that I want to train with, and I'm also part of a national organization, these doulas also take my product to their clients. What I'm seeking is to have a wider audience base. And the way that I do that is really with marketing. I wanted to legitimize this product. So instead of it being more so of like a mom and pop or a friend of a friend referred you to this, I want to have it standing in stores. I want to be able to have my labels, my marketing, everything look exactly how Airbloom is intended to look, like royalty.
Judges, any more questions for Kenesha? All right, Ravi, if there are no more questions, do we move on to the next contestant?
Yes, Todd, good to go. Before we do that, I just want to double check on Carlos. Carlos, is the mic backed up? You want to do a quick check for us? I don't know if I saw him there a second ago. We can't hear you, Carlos. I see you've unmuted, so it's not worked yet.
Okay, we've still got a few minutes before we get to you, Carlos. We got a couple more presentations, then we're going to circle back to Carlos and our first contestant as well. So if you would bear with us. Next contestant, contestant number 9, Luisa Nataraja. She's presenting the COVID souvenir collection. Good afternoon, Luisa.
Hi, everybody. How's everyone going?
We're good.
I'm ready. Let me know. I already shared my screen. Let me know when it's my time. Can you see my screen?
We don't see your slides. We see
my slides. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. There you go. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So before I tell you a little bit about my project, which is the COVID souvenir collection and all the things about it, I want to share a little bit about me, my brand that has been established since 2017. I am a fashion designer that focuses on sustainability and eco-friendly designs to move, touch, and inspire people that even in the fashion world, which is one of the most polluting worlds in the world, we can still make a difference and still make an impact. So as you can see in these pictures, the first one is speedometer needles. I went to the junkyard and I grabbed a bunch of pretty much trash. And if I can see trash, and if these hands can make beautiful things out of trash that can touch people, then I had a breakthrough. Then I figured, I'm on to something, and this brand has to have this clarity of a mission and a purpose in life. The second one is with, what do you call it? Headlights. And then the third one is with bicycle tubes, dirty, awfully looking bicycle tubes. And the other collection is my last collection of my last fashion show with recycled applique from used clothing. And also here at Shankar Nataraja, he's my husband. He has been working for ExxonMobil for 18 years. He's a global drone manager. So in business and in numbers, he's great, while I focus on creativity and invention and all that good stuff. So the COVID souvenir collection is called Souvenir because I want this product, which is actually a mask that you wouldn't really think it's a mask. I want this to be something that people can keep. So again, thinking of, my brand not having many lives, having many purposes, having many purposes. I wanted it to, here's a hat. It's the same thing. It's the mask, but it's now a hat, accessory. So so having my products take a step forward and think outside of the box and go a mile further to really capture the interest in people and why they should buy my products versus a regular mask out there. So the problem, as you can tell, it's pollution and COVID. The solution is, like I said, the headband, and then I also have in the COVID collection, as you can see, this belt, which you would never know this belt turns into, well, I'm not going to do it down because it takes a little bit more than 3 minutes, but this turn, as you can see it in the second slide, it turns into that beautiful headband. So, and it turns into a bandana. So as you can see, everything that I make and that I try to do is targeted to, I guess, women. Well, I don't guess. It is women for now that really care about the planet, especially millennials. And I always try to give 10% of proceeds of my sales to Project Peer, which is a nonprofit that I own that helps Peru. Did I do good for the 3 minutes?
It's time.
All right. Thank you, Louisa. Judges, do we have any questions for Louisa and the COVID collection?
Yeah, I guess my only question is about the longevity of this. Hopefully, we're not going to need mask after next year. Let's hope for that at least. But that's really kind of what differentiates this amongst just other headbands and belts and stuff. So you mentioned a little bit about pollution, but what are some other things to make sure that this lasts beyond 21?
Being the COVID collection on this being brand.
Oh, are we evaluating just the COVID collection or both?
Well, when you invest in me, you're pretty much not just investing in a mask. You're investing in a fashion brand that I aim to turn into in the future as a mission and my target of the first couture brand that focuses on sustainability and sustainable and eco-friendly sources. So today is a mask or a belt that turns into a mask. But tomorrow there will be more problems and more things to challenge and to tackle. So this goes above and beyond just investing in a mask.
So what's your sales to date? You've been in business since 2017. What's your sales to date?
So my sales, since 2017, prior to COVID, I'm doing about 10K, 11K. Now with COVID, I haven't done the maths and added up COVID since, because I normally do my taxes and I add it up at the end of the year. Sales have increased to 35% since COVID. So I would say 35% off. I mean, on top of the 11K that I've been selling a year.
And so my question is kind of like Jesse's pre-COVID, because I'm trying to understand where the business is. What was the line before the COVID line, and then what's going to be the line after COVID?
Okay, so example of pre-COVID, like I mentioned in the junkyard, that was one collection where I sold things out of trash. So people would buy, speedometer, needle, earrings, necklaces, accessories, wearable things that had fuses, seat belts, light bulbs. So I used, I tend to use collections based off of things and create something off of pretty much trash or something that's kind of sort of trash. Second collection in the first slide, me with the models, it's a collection with used, pretty much, I don't want to say trash because you can't say trash, but used blouses that are all hand embroidered, and I pulled the applique and applied it to new clothing to embellish them. So my embellishments weren't from China, from this mass-produced factory. They were from women in Guatemala. So that's the concept of my brand, and that's how I see it forward. Always looking for that beautiful gem to enhance, but with a message and a meaning and a clear focus of the company.
Judges, we're over time.
All right. Thank you, Louisa. Good luck to you. And we are going to move on to our next contestant. Keep in mind, we're going to circle back with a few that we've missed, two, in fact. But the last contestant in the first order, contestant number 10, presenting Link Me, Omar Al-Aissa. Good afternoon, Omar.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, play from start. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Omar, we see the screen.
We can.
Starts.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to start off by introducing myself. My name is Omar Al-Aissa. I'm a student at the University of St. Thomas, and I am presenting on a company called Link Me. So my question to you guys is, have you ever stopped and wondered how much we rely on the internet today? The internet is a large part of our lives and is crucial for education, especially with COVID. However, people in third world countries are at a disadvantage because they don't have connectivity access. Therefore, I would like to create a device that would allow people to connect to the Starlink network. But the current issue is that Starlink satellites are too expensive. SpaceX has brought the cost down of phased array antennas down from $5,000 market price to about $1,000, which is a goal of $300, but that's still not sufficient. Therefore, oh boy, shrinking the size of the antenna and developing mobile functionality would allow for people to connect to it. Oh boy.
We see the slide on unique value proposition.
Can you hear me?
We hear you. Everything's working.
Okay. So the unique value proposition is based on this. There's going to be two different devices created. One device will be sold to maritime customers who currently pay about $5,000 per month for satellite internet, which is way too expensive. The Starlink network will decrease it to $80. And the issue currently is that the phased array antennas do not allow for significant change in motion because of the underlying technology. Therefore, I would like to create IP that would allow for this to happen. And through selling the satellite dishes to the maritime customers, I would like to subsidize a smaller version with the shrinked antenna to people in third world countries that cannot afford it. I kind of did not go synonymous with the slides. My profit and purpose, I already said my purpose. My road to profitability would be to keep costs down, is to assign sweat equity to everyone assisting me with this project. And therefore, profitability would be achieved through the first sale to a maritime customer. Thank you. That's it. Question?
All right, judges, any questions for Omar?
No question.
Just to clarify a little bit,
Sure.
So this is going to be a receiver that maritime customers and ultimately people in rural places throughout the world would be able to access the Starlink satellite network for internet?
Yes, because the current satellites in use that are being produced are way too expensive.
Okay, and have you already developed a minimally viable product to see if this will work, or what stage are you in the product development?
In terms of current stage, I have developed a motion algorithm that would allow for the phased array antenna to computerly steer beam with significant motion.
And is that
I've developed an actual prototype yet. Okay. And that's what I would use the $5,000 for. Cool, thank you.
Any other questions for Omar?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Thank you for making the best out of a tough situation in the presentation. Don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us.
Sure.
What's your background?
My background, I'm currently studying economics and finance, and I have had some significant experience with entrepreneurship, though I have not created a product before. This is my first time doing this. And I do have some background in computer science. Self-taught.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Omar? All right, if there are no other questions, Robbie, we're going to move on. We're going to go back and cycle back to a couple of our contestants who had a few technical difficulties. So we're going to go back to contestant number one. And I believe it was Blurry Sounds with Ashley Torres. Now, Robbie, are we ready to go ahead and start? Ashley?
Yep, Ashley, I've just passed the presenter ball to you. We hear some sound.
Can you guys hear me? Before I start, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Ashley. Go ahead and
Perfect.
take it away.
And Ashley, just wait 1 second, judges. This is going to be the first contestant. So if you can Go to the first page of the scoring, second page of the scoring sheet.
So Robbie, when you hit submit on the 10th participant, it kicks you back to the first screen. So hang on one second. I need to troubleshoot this real quick. So
I am. Same here. It actually submitted for me.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, have you submitted, or are you able to go back to number 1?
I went back to number 1, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, just hang tight. Yusuf, Jesse, if you just reopen that link, and this time just submit scores for 1 and 5. What we'll do is we'll move the scores into the original submission after. It'll take us a little longer at the end, but we'll make it work. Just restart and make sure that the scoring for the other students for the second attempt is just give everybody a 1. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. Got it.
And we'll make it work. Okay. So just hang tight, Ashley. Jesse, if you've got the links reloaded, and then Yusuf, if you got it reloaded, we'll just need confirmation when you're ready. Jesse and Yusuf. Okay, Jesse, ready? Okay. Yusuf, you're ready to go? I didn't see. Okay. All right, sir. Okay, we're good to go. Ashley, your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Torres. I am a senior accounting major at UST, and I'm here to tell you about my bold idea, Blurry Sounds, the future of live music venues in Houston. As I'm sure everyone knows, making it big in the music industry is no small feat. It's an uphill battle for countless artists, and it doesn't get any easier until they reach the top. This is where we encounter our problem. There we go. Small to mid-sized touring bands and artists receive minimal support while on the road. From couch surfing to late night drives, who is there for our next generation of musicians? Maybe it's a sign, but 4 years ago to this day, September 12, 2016, I had the most brag-worthy evening of my life. Senior in high school, already drawn to the music industry, and managed to become friends with several bands in the scene. On this fateful day, I received a message from a band I loved, but didn't personally know. They heard I lived in Houston and asked for a place to crash while on their truck from Florida to Corpus Christi. I'm not sure how I convinced my parents, but they actually said yes. And I spent the next hours prepping our house for the band, and I can't lie, the experience was amazing. Since that night, my family has hosted more than 5 bands, and I've been approached by more than a dozen for a place to crash. I knew it was not a viable option to continuously offer up my home to others. But now I have a solution. A new concert venue, Blurry Sounds, will soon become a band's home away from home. Blurry Sounds will be a 500-person capacity concert venue with a focus on up-and-coming talent. Bands will no longer need to couch surf or sleep in their vans just to stay afloat while on tour. Unlike other venues, Blurry Sounds will offer musicians and crew the chance to stay in hostel-style accommodations that will include beds, restrooms, and a full functioning kitchen. We'll be the Airbnb for artists on the road. So how will Blurry Sounds be different from other venues in Houston? Our emphasis on accommodation sets us apart from all other venues. Larger venues may have partnerships with hotels, but no other music venue will be doing it like us. We will be able to give our guests a safe spot to sleep between cities, a place to relax and freshen up, and the opportunity to explore all that Houston has to offer. We are a convenient, affordable, and safe option for those on the road. A special part about our accommodation is that it will also be available for others to book on off days. We will provide travelers and fans a unique opportunity to stay the night in a concert venue. Our market, first and foremost, we are a quality live music venue. Artists will have the opportunity to book shows as normal, and music lovers will be able to buy tickets to those shows. As a hostel, musicians, crew, travelers, and music fans will be able to book beds in one of the most unique hostels in the country. All music venues have several streams of revenue, including ticket sales, food and drinks, alcohol, merchandise, Blurry Sounds will have all of these and more. We will also have full profits from room rentals from both artists and fans. It is a common belief that struggle is a part of making it big in music. But Blurry Sounds knows that supporting artists we value will lead to a more prosperous music scene. Concert venues hold more power than they know when it comes to supporting and strengthening their music community, but we are here to achieve that. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my presentation. And if you have any questions, let me know.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Judges, any questions for Ashley and Blurry Sounds?
In the age of this COVID-19, I know a lot of musicians are having a lot of trouble with this. How would you, if you were in business right now, how would you pivot to still stay in business?
So I think one of our, and it's really unfortunate, as we're seeing in Houston right now, a lot of venues are shutting down. I think since the US isn't close to travel, having these accommodations as a hostel, especially when travel is cheap for those in the US, would allow us to get some money through the door while large events aren't possible. That would be our best way to survive that challenge.
I would like to hear more.
Sorry.
You go ahead. I'll come after you. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, what is the plan to scale, or is it just going to be one venue, or?
Definitely right now, I'm thinking small scale because those are the artists I typically interact with and that have come to me. So I would stick to Houston and have a really solid foundation in Houston before even thinking about expanding anywhere else.
So the question I have is, it really rests on the business model itself, because, even if your plan is to wait until the venues open back up to start operating, what if, Houston is known for natural disasters? What's the model to keep you operating and growing? If an investor is going to invest in you, how will they know they'll get a return on their investment if another disaster comes in the next 9 months?
I think that as we're seeing now, even with COVID and restrictions, there still are music events taking place. We've seen venues adapt and doing drive-in shows and live streams. So I think even if any other challenges were to present themselves, we would be able to work around that. And especially with hurricanes, I know canceling shows would have to be in the back of our minds at all times, but I think that would help us.
We're over time.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Good luck with Blurry Sounds. Next up, we're going to circle back to number 5, contestant number 5. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but I believe Carlos is up and ready. Ravi, if you're ready, we'll move on to contestant number 5, presenting Good Neighbor, Carlos Bertrand.
Okay, judges, this is going to be number 5. So if you can get to that list, and then Carlos, can you test your mic?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, Robbie, just giving us a bit of a second to get there.
No worries. Carlos, let's do the tech check. If you can unmute Carlos and test. We don't hear you.
Maybe it's the mic. Maybe it's the mic itself.
Yeah, we're gonna. Carlos, when you're ready, let me know. I'm gonna move the presenter ball back to you. See, he's trying to set up judges. If we don't get audio, then we'll have to just move along Carlos, we might, just we'll have to forfeit this submission if we don't get the mic going. So just hang tight, everybody else. Try one more time, Carlos. Nope, we can't hear you.
All right.
Yeah, the cool thing about being part of this competition is you get to learn a lot and get to make new friends and get to try again and then again till we get it right. So, judges, I think at this stage, if we can go ahead, Todd, if we can go ahead and.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move to the end. So you want to do the scoring portion of the contest, Robbie, with the judges?
Yes, so judges, at this time, go ahead and wrap up your scores. I'm going to share share a slide over here, Todd. I've got a few questions for you to get from the students.
Okay.
If we can just capture their feedback as our judges are finishing up their scoring. Everybody else, it's about a 10 to 15 minute break here, and then we'll cycle back once we have the scores.
All right, so we're going to go back to our students, and we'll just start from the top, and we'll go back to Ashley. So each one of the students, I'll ask you one of these three questions, and you don't have to pitch your product. I'm not a judge here, so tell me a little bit about yourself and your experiences with this. So we're going to have talk with Ashley Torres. Of course, she was pitching Blurry Sounds, and I'm going to ask you, Ashley, what did you take away from this competition? What did you learn from presenting today?
I definitely took a lot of things away from this competition. The first is that the idea I presented, I've had it in the back of my mind for a couple years now, and it felt nice to kind of start becoming a reality for me, because it was always a dream, but presenting it to other people, I really had to put thought behind it, and it really made me think about what I needed to plan out for the future, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then public speaking, like always, because of COVID, I feel like I haven't spoken to many people in a long time. So it really pushed me to get back out there. Yeah, it's a different world we're living into right now. I'm going to ask you a question, though. When you told your parents you were going to bring a band home to stay in your house, what was their initial answer? Well, first, I will say that the person I really had to ask was my dad, because I was inviting 5 20-something-year-olds to my house as a high school student. But the first thing he did was I had to tell him what band it was. He looked up their music to see what they were about. But I was really shocked that he ended up saying yes, and he's still a big fan of that band to this day. I'm really grateful for him. All right. Thank you. We're going to ask a question now to contestant number 2, Nicolette Kong. So Nicolette, tell me once again, how do you pronounce the name of your company? How do you pronounce it? It's pronounced NIS. The X and Y are silent. They're just there to make it look cool. Well, it looks cool. I'll admit that. So tell me, are you an audio geek? Did you always grow up working with audio? And what made you come up with some idea like this? No, my background is actually in biochemistry and physics. So the audio, I also have a background in theater. So this is a very new venture for me, but it's been very surprisingly successful. Right. And once that clicked for me with audio engineering and voice acting in particular, it just combines everything that I love, from theatrics, acting, storytelling, portraying a mission, being an advocate, and then the physics behind the audio engineering part. Oh my gosh, it makes me so excited. But I feel like I finally found my passion and a particular path, and this step into entrepreneurship is just one more step forward, and for me to realize my full potential as a voice actor, as an entrepreneur, as an audio engineer, and just like as a person in general. So you say you're a voice actor. Have you had a chance to voice any cartoons? I actually just got cast for an indie animation. On the website, I forgot to pull up my contact me slide.
on my presentation. But you can find me at nicolettekong.com. On there, you can find my demo reels, my resume, and my character wall to see what I've done so far. Oops.
All right. Well, Nicolette, good luck to you. Thank you for being here today, and good luck in the competition.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. Number 3, contestant number 3, Jairo Suarez, presented with Passion in a Bowl. And Jairo, I'm going to ask you, what was your biggest takeaway for this? What did you learn from today?
So I was just blown away by just the variety of ideas. Human innovation is just wow. Just wow. I'm honestly speechless with some of the ideas that I heard. The different like groups that the different entrepreneurs had in mind, and it really makes me believe in people all the more.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. A lot of people don't think, well, I'm going to turn a cantaloupe into a bowl, but yours seems like a very unique idea, and you talk it's very sustainable. I guess the sustainability was something that kind of prompted you to go this direction?
For sure, because when I had it because my family, when we went to Colombia the last time, it was like a kind of like a trendy delicacy at the time.
Yeah.
Because it was like starting up when we had gone like 2 years ago, and so it was the trendy thing, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I'd really love to like have something like that here, because the entire time I was there, that's when boba teas had like really started to become popular again. Like they'd become really trendy here in the US. And so I told my family about it, and they're like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, that sounds like really cool." And so then I started thinking about the reverse here, bringing that over, and then just because the fruit is something that you find in like different fruits are available in different parts of the world, and I was like, "Huh, that'd be kind of cool to see like how you could adapt it for what's common here in the U.S."
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing your idea hopefully in the future. Good luck to you, and good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, and Ahmed is next with the JBL Center for Biotech Innovation. And let me ask you this, question number 3 on my list here. Tell us about the importance of this competition for you, Ahmed, in pitching your idea.
Well, I would say competitions are only effective if they're collaborative. I highly encourage people to have a sense of competition and competing with other. However, I'm not a fan of unhealthy competition, like cutthroat. I got to be number one as well. I don't support that. It's actually like bad for the person, or it's just like too much stress all the time. And roughly about ages ago, when I became a senior in high school, I kind of sort of discovered, there's a different way for competition, which is, collaboration. Then went to college, and then when I moved to Houston, I entered St. Thomas. And when I started back in 2008 at St. Thomas, shout out to Nicolette, because I'm a biochem as well, but I hated physics. That kind of sort of taught me the sense of a collaborative success. Your success is only as good as the success of the group, and you're only as weak as, your weakest link. And thus, that kind of sort of fostered a sense of, how do you say, a healthy competition where you want to do well, you want to compete, but you want others to compete, and that's why I think competition is important, is because along the line, sitting here watching all these presentations, it always gives me, there's always a light bulb that goes on when somebody says something in ways that you could not, expect it. But then at the same time, it gives you the skill and the experience, even if your product today didn't work, or you don't, get first, second, or third spot. It's just prepping you and honing your skills for the next major. Maybe the next pitch will be to the Shark Tank, and you pitch Mark Cuban, and that would be your first step towards that.
So pitching Mark Cuban's a pretty big deal if you get a chance to do that. Would that be something in a goal for you long term?
Why not?
Hey, he's got a few extra dollars to spare to launch an idea for you, huh?
Yeah, sky's the limit. Reach out. If you dream on, and get working and get towards it.
All right. Thank you, Ahmed. We appreciate you joining us, and we're going to good luck to you in the competition as well. We're going to move on. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with Carlos Beltran and the good neighbor pitch, but we do wish him well in his future endeavors. Number 6, the invoice exchange system was pitched by Yaroslav Lunev. So let me ask you, Yaroslav, what was your biggest takeaway? What did you learn from being in this competition today?
Well, first of all, I want to say shout out to Carlos, because Carlos and I are in 2 classes together. And man, I feel so bad because, I see him Monday and Tuesday online. So, but as far as the takeaway and, timing, I've had this idea for months, but the problem is that putting it in the 3-minute time frame. This has been the challenge. Here I've been writing all day. I have 8 pages of data. Of what I'm going to say, about 1,000 words. And then when I started practicing, I was like, holy cow, I'm already at minute 6, and I'm not even halfway through. So narrowing down because of the limitation of the time spot. And then of course, just like I'm sure most of us, I haven't gone through all the information I wanted to go through. But, that's the part of it, is that, and I'm personally a competitive person, I am from Russia and we always train only to win the Olympics, So, by nature, it just, it brings up the best because, I always want to win. I always want to compete. That's how I've been brought up. So for me, competition helps develop the skills and narrow down the narrative of basically to get there. So
you brought up a really good point, and I feel your pain because, a lot of people, whether you're a writer or a TV presenter or maybe a reporter, you've been working on a story all day long. You got all these facts, but you got to get it down to like 58 seconds. So I know where you're coming from. You got it all there, and you had to get it down for 3 minutes. And you did a good job either way. Good luck to you.
Hopefully. Well, like I said, I'm sure I'll talk to Carlos on Monday about it. So, but about his thing. But I wish best of luck. This was good. Once again, just like before, putting it down on paper, because everything in your head is so rosy. But as you start to narrow it down, anticipate the questions, you start to find those little holes that maybe these 2 + 2 is not quite equaling 2, equaling 4 in your head. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. This was a good practice at the end.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Contestant number 7 was William Michelle Candles, presented by Davis Alford. Good afternoon, Davis. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. Of course, I had a chance to work with you over the summer with the HCC pitch competition as well. Good to see you again. You've done a couple of these now. What did you learn in this competition?
First, I want to say that I'm so passionate about explaining what I want to do with improving handle quality that I just went right into pitching. And I don't know if I shared my slides, and I have really nice slides. So sorry about that, Ravi, and we'll talk about it. But I love doing these competitions because it enables us to identify what's unique about our ideas or about our businesses. And we can kind of figure out what's appealing to customers based on listening to the other contestants. The other 2 pitch contests that I did over the summer, I feel like this one, you guys raised the level. I love the idea about the food bowl coming over from Colombia. I love Colombian food. I love the idea. I actually use QuickBooks, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed with it because I manufacture my calendars too, and I still have to work on invoices. I love that idea, and I just love the opportunity to identify and harness what's good about my business, and hopefully I can market that business more efficiently.
Thanks for being here, Davis. We appreciate you joining us today, and good luck to you in the competition.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to contestant number 8, another lady I worked with before when we did this for HCC. Kanisha Friend, I'm going to ask you the same question. What did you learn from pitching the first time and then pitching today? Some strategies you use differently. What did you take away from this?
My greatest takeaway was that it reminded me that entrepreneurship and with creating a business, the goal is to expand yourself. And so pitching this and then doing it in the time of COVID, even though I'm a people person, thrive on the different communities that I'm a part of and selling to the person. With having to maintain social distance, I had to rethink my product and say, how can I create this product in a way where it feels like I'm with you in person as a doula during a very vulnerable experience. And so one of my greatest takeaways was rethinking that and saying your product should be ready to use. They should be focused on marketing so that your presence is still felt there with your product. So I really enjoyed pitching that. I enjoyed the different slides so I can think deeply about the product and my sustainability as far as like, okay, well, you have this gel. What can you pair it with that can promote sustainability, which are like cloth pads as an example. So I really appreciate that opportunity and thank you for allowing me to think through that.
Well, thank you, Kanisha, and good luck to you again today. All right, we are going to move on to next contestant was contestant number 9, the COVID souvenir collection. Louisa has also pitched before in the HCC Shark Tank competition. And Louisa, I'm going to ask you, what have you learned by watching the other contestants today?
Well, I learned that competition is fierce. You guys are amazing. You have amazing ideas and concepts. I learned that we are all in this together as a team. So I'm just so happy that we're all venturing and like Kanisha said, you know, exerting ourselves, if that's the right word, to make things better and more professional and innovate. So I love competitions. Actually, after my first sewing class in HCC back in 2015, just one sewing class, I had no idea about anything. I entered a competition at HCC, partnered with the Museum of Fine Arts, which is a big deal. And I knew that I was competing against amazing designers that I had, you know, I barely knew how to sew. So my first garments created by the junkyard were from that. You know, you need to create something that is unique and beautiful and super value added that has got to have something so special, so touching, so moving, authentic, so authentic to you and who you are and your brand or your business. Otherwise, you have no chance, you know? So once I became, once I showed my self-expression and I found myself in that competition, that's when I really discovered that, hey, these competitions are here to make us better and better.
Absolutely. Well, Louisa, good luck to you in today's competition, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Thank you.
All right, and our final contestant with Link Me, talking about Link Me, was Omar Al Isa. Now, Omar, I know you had some technical problems, but you know, that's the world we're living in now. We have to do these virtual presentations, but you made it through and you were able to recover from that. You did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Omar, what did you take away from from your pitch today and from watching the other contestants?
I took away that everyone has wonderful ideas and that you can learn something from everyone. And I did learn something from every single one of these people here.
Absolutely. And so tell me a bit more, because I'm a technical guy. Of course, I work for a TV station. So obviously what you have piques my interest, but tell me a bit more, because you're looking somewhat similar to what a few of the other contestants are. You were looking to win the prize, to maybe invest it in the future to develop your product more. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yes, sir. Correct.
So that's, so right now you're still in the, and then also you brought out something I thought was interesting. You said that you are, you're self-learned with all of this. You kind of taught yourself about building these concepts and learning this. This isn't something you're studying in college, right?
No, sir, it's not. My father actually has a background in computer science, so it's something that I gained from him. He actually gave me a bunch of his books to read and learn about, and I went from there using Google and learned what I know right now. But of course, I don't know everything. I still don't know a lot, and I need to keep improving my knowledge.
Well, you got us captivated, so good luck to you today in the competition, Omar. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to go back to Robbie. I'm going to check in with him real quickly because I think the judges are tabulating the votes. Robbie, have we tabulated the votes yet? And are we there?
So, Dr. Wook, I got the message. You're ready to go. We did get all the scores. we did pull in all of them. Our scoring system's very simple. We add them all up. So the most you could have got was 50 points times 3 for 3 judges. And then whenever you're ready, Dr. Wook, the floor is yours to make the announcements.
Okay, I'll roll it, but I'll let Todd's the professional, so I'll let him. I'll let him. He's got the magic voice. So.
All right, Dr. Wook, we'll go ahead and roll on through. I think honorable mention is first, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we've got honorable mention. Congratulations to Jairo Suarez with Passion in Bowl. Congratulations, Jairo.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right, and I think we're ready for our third place award. And if we would go on to that, Dr. Wook. All right, third place, Luisa Nataraja, the COVID souvenir collection, winning $2,000. Congratulations, Luisa. All right. And our next second place award winner, Davis Alford, William Michelle Candles. Wow, congratulations, Davis. You've won $3,000. All right. And our next, we've got, I believe, the second, let's see, are we at the second place? So next is our grand prize winner. So you ready for this? A little bit of a drum roll, anticipation's building. And the grand prize winner of the competition today, the Bold Ideas Pitch Competition, is Kanisha Friend with airbloom.com. Kanisha, the second time was a charm for you. $5,000. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can we let Kanisha say a few words?
Well, I'm just really appreciative. As you said, the second time was a charm. I really appreciate it. I learned a lot from the very first competition. Thank you so much to the judges for believing in this idea, and it'll be in a store near you soon.
Wow, that's great. Good. Congratulations to all of the contestants. Everyone did a great job presenting today. Ravi, you want to say a few words before we wrap things up?
I do, and then I also want the judges to just share their feedback here. And I think what makes all of us come together here is the fact that we're all change makers. We're trying to build awareness, share on your knowledge, and then inspire action. So it's so important that you continue to do so. I'm extremely happy for the students that won. But the ones who participated, you guys have also won in my book, because now you have access to Yusuf Mohammed, you have access to Jesse Bounds, and you have access to Robert De Los Santos. And Robert also has his own company, but then he's part of Entrepreneurs Organization, which is a global entity. He also runs a university student competition. So I'd like our judges to just quickly share how the students can seek mentoring from you, and how we can engage these change makers, these aspiring business entrepreneurs into the Houston startup ecosystem. How could we encourage them, as well as support them with financials and mentoring? Jesse, if you want to take first.
Excellent. Yeah, no, this has been just really fantastic. I can see all of the products here have really clear business value to them. And, I really think that you should continue to develop these ideas forward. And certainly the city has a business plan competition also that you might be interested in, which is called Liftoff Houston Business Plan Competition. That might be something worth looking at as well. And certainly I'm available on LinkedIn. If you would link in with me, I'm happy to help. I'm a UST alum, so I definitely love helping our fellow Celts, and certainly also my wife is an adjunct with HCC, so we have connections there as well. So anyway, thank you so much for participating in this, and I look forward to seeing what you can do with these products.
Thank you so much, Jesse, for volunteering as a judge today. Mr. Mohammed, could you enlighten us? SCORE is an organization. This is built. All of these students are in the pipeline to see you.
Yeah, so I want to say congratulations to each of you who presented. It takes a lot of courage, and to be as professional as Todd takes a lot of work. You know, he's been doing this a long time and he makes it look easy, but trust me, it is not as easy as he makes it look. And, you know, I sit as judge on these pitch competitions all over the world, from startups to companies who generate millions. And you just have to keep presenting, keep pitching, learn the business, and be prepared to answer those tough questions, because when you get in front of investors, the questions will get much tougher, but just because you don't win a cash prize, if an investor's interested in your business, they'll pull you to the side. There's opportunities just being present and being able to present. So don't always look at the cash prize as, the award for presenting. Just being there and meeting the individuals is more valuable. And I want to say you can go to houston.score.org. SCORE is a free volunteer organization. We have over 160 volunteers in the Houston area that can help counsel you in any area of business that you need counseled. You can hit me up on LinkedIn. Anything I can do to help you, I'm definitely there and available. And congratulations, Ravi and Dr. Wolf. You guys did an excellent job. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Yusuf. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing too.
Thank you. And Robert, come on. You have to tell your story as a student entrepreneur at Bauer and the Goldman Sachs program. You got to tell your story. How important has other mentors in the city been to you, Robert?
Phenomenal job, everybody. And Ravi, kudos to you and Patrick for putting this on together. I know it's a hard job convincing people to do these competitions and knowing that they can do it and that what they do matters. And being an entrepreneur during these times is so tough. I have firsthand experience with that. And, growing up, I participated in all these competitions. Every single one of them, I was able to immediately put all the knowledge that I learned right into my business and launching it. So, when I was in school, I would, the business plan competition, it would be my actual business. And being able to go to a professor and getting feedback on your company is huge. So take this time to reach out to entrepreneurs, mentors, have them help you because they want to help you, and don't be afraid to ask for, big asks, like, sitting down with you via Zoom call for firsthand advice. And, we have this competition. It's at gsca.org/apply. It's for college entrepreneurs who have made at least $1,000 who are juggling running a business and school. And I encourage you to apply, and great job, everybody. Thank you.
All right, Ravi, any other words before we wrap things up?
Well, I just want to put the thank you slide, play some music, let all of you exchange email addresses and phone numbers on the side. We're gonna end the show on YouTube. And Dr. Wook, you get the last word for getting all of us together here, getting us the donors that we needed to be able to fund the prize money, and obviously for rallying up these wonderful students to take risk and get in front of strangers and share an idea. Boy, even though it's virtual, it's still tough. So go ahead, Dr. Wook. You're going to wrap us up.
Well, thank you very much. I have to say that that this experience has been amazing, and we were very lucky to have a partner like HCC, like yourself, Ravi. We could not have done it without you. And in saying that, I would say even more so, we couldn't, even to take a further step back, we could have done none of this without the students, right? And at the end of the day, the sponsorship is good. The hard work that Ravi does and all the other people who've been involved, and myself included, but really the great effort is what you've done, the students. The challenge you have now, as you finish today, excited, some of you are very excited, some of you are excited just to compete, is to take this torch forward. It's very interesting to have an idea. Many times, a lot of us, we're excited for the competition, and sometimes we get disheartened in not winning. But we need to take this torch forward. And so if I could say one thing to all of you, especially and most importantly to the students, it's really up to you. And we're, Ravi, everyone at HCC, the judges, myself included, we are all here for you to help you take this torch forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wook and Ravi. And Ravi, I guess we'll wrap this thing up. I want to remind everyone, we're going to do a little shameless plug for HCC TV, that we do a live daily show for HCC on our Houston Community College District Facebook page. It's live every day, Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. on our Facebook page. And we bring you all types of information, including in the past, we focused on winners from shows like this, from competitions like this. So I extend an invitation to the folks who are competitions for some of the contestants here. Join us on our show, reach out to me, and we'll schedule you as a guest, whether you're with UST or HCC. The invitation's open. Thanks, everyone, for being here today on the Bold Ideas Pitch Competition. We'll see you next time.